Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. And on the 4-hour chart, yesterday or like 2 days ago, we did get a reaction to the much bigger 0.382 support level, but obviously this is not enough to confirm that the low is in, and in my opinion, we're still gonna drop to 72 cents, or in the worst case scenario, even 66.5 cents to test the other support levels before finally starting a much bigger third wave, just because Ethereum and Bitcoin kind of need to go down right now. So yeah, we're probably not gonna, respect what we have over here, and we're probably gonna invalidate this small 1-2 setup on the chart. It could be counted as a first wave, yes, but as you can see, we already got to the 50% support level over there. And yeah, if we drop below the 618, which is at 80.5 cents, then we are probably going lower, and we could put in a new low in the C wave of the second wave move down in the next couple of hours, maybe even the next couple of days, because as you know, we're expecting the market to go down for the next couple of days or even weeks. And I'm going to talk about that as well, but before I do that, let me talk about the third wave to the upside. And if you don't know what I'm talking about here, this is a very big 1-2 setup. We could get another move to the downside to form an ABC. Also keep in mind, if we somehow start going up right now, that could just be the B wave, and until we get above the first wave high right there at $1.03, I'm not gonna be able to confirm that the low is in. So even if we go up in the short term, please do not get fooled, because like I said, this could be A, B, C, and we could still go down after that. So we'll see how this plays out, but like I said, we have a 1-2 setup here, and right now we are tracking the third wave of this 1-2 setup. The bare minimum target for that third wave is at $1.56, but it kind of has to overextend to at least $2 or even more, maybe the trend line right here on the chart, if we want the much bigger third wave over there to actually get to our target of $3.50. And that's because, let's say we get to like $1.56 in the third wave right here. If the fourth wave move down puts us back at like $1.14 or so to test that support level, which is going to act as resistance very, very soon, then the fifth wave move up is not going to be able to get to $3.50, because that's going to mean that the fifth wave will be more impulsive than the third wave. That does not work in terms of Elliott wave count. So yeah, we're actually expecting this third wave, but only after we get the second wave move down. And other than that, I want to talk about the RSI for a second here on the 4-hour. As you can see, it's a big mess. We keep getting above the moving average and then we keep getting below it. And I think we could actually, get to the oversold territory to finish this correction. So right now we're not oversold, but we are below the moving average. So hopefully we start going down right now. The best case scenario is that we actually get that move right now and we just move on after that, because it's probably gonna happen either way, so we might as well get it over with. And getting to the oversold territory would actually be very bullish. The last time we got to the oversold territory was right here, exactly at the bull market support band, and then after that, as you can see, we bounced, and before that it was down here at 50 cents. So yeah, we're actually waiting for something like this to happen again, but before that happens, yeah, you cannot expect the market to just, pump to the upside, because that's not how it really works. And as I said, we are expecting Ethereum and Bitcoin to go a bit lower, so I think the market is going to continue dropping for the next couple of weeks. And before I talk about that, let's go to the Ethereum chart. And on this chart, we just tested the moving average right here on the 4-hour, and we actually stayed above it, but I don't think this is gonna last, so we should still get to at least $4,000 to complete the fourth wave of the downside. And the best case scenario is that we actually go a bit lower than that, maybe $3,500, because we are also expecting Bitcoin to hit at least the 200-day moving average at $100,000 to complete this correction. And in the worst case scenario, we could even drop to like $95,000, and then we could start going up. And yes, this correction is normal. I warned you about this maybe a couple of weeks ago, but Bitcoin always drops in September, and we are expecting it to drop to 100K, because on the weekly chart, if you take a look at what happened every single time we had a correction in this cycle, when we went down here, this correction put us at about $25,000. Then we went up for a couple of months. Then we had another correction. This put us at $50,000. And then the next one put us at 75. So I think the next one, which should be right now, could put us at $100,000 just to continue this pattern. And then we could start going up. Also, something else about this chart is the RSI right here. If you look at where the RSI went to when we had each of these corrections, it went to the exact same place every single time, RSI of 44, and then we bounced. So I think we could actually do the exact same thing again. We get a big correction right now, maybe even below $100,000. Everybody will think the bear market has started, only for the RSI to get to the 45 or 44 level again and then bounce, and that could give new all-time highs after that. So I think this is how it's gonna play out, and obviously breaking below this trend line right here would pretty much confirm that Bitcoin has already topped. But even if that's the case, at some point, as you know, in every single cycle, when Bitcoin gets a big drop, for example, like we had over here, it does not start going down instantly. Of course not. It actually gets some kind of ABC structure. And this also happened in 2017, although for this you have to zoom in a bit more, but this was an A, B, and then C. So at some point we are gonna get the B wave, and when we do get the B wave, in the worst case scenario, even if Bitcoin has already topped, that B wave will get us the altcoin season, because during that time the altcoins will start going up, and that's when Bitcoin dominance will start going down. And now, speaking of Bitcoin dominance, as you can see, it found support exactly at the 0.236, which is not surprising. It also found support at the trend line on the weekly RSI that I've had on the chart for the last couple of months, and I still think it's gonna bounce back to the bull market support band and the 200-day moving average in the next couple of weeks, just for Bitcoin to also finish its correction. And after that, we should get rejected and we should do something like we did back here. So that's what we're waiting for right now. And for those asking why Cardano is not at all-time highs right now, it's actually pretty simple, and that's because Bitcoin dominance is still not at cycle lows. You have to remember, each time Bitcoin dominance was at these lows, for example right here in 2021, this is when Cardano actually topped, not when it was up here, and the same thing could be said about 2017. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. By the way, the gold members get access to a bunch of other bonus videos, so if you want access to these as well, make sure to check that out, and I will see you in the next one.